Hey, baby. Good afternoon. Happy Monday evening, the 25th of October. Welcome, everybody, to Conversations with Jeff. If you haven't been here before, I'm glad you stopped in and checked it out, right? Conversations with Jeff. Who was that? Hey, well, listen, it's about conversations, real talk. Sit down and have a seat. We're going to talk about communication. We're going to talk about service. We're going to talk about mindset things and practices. We're going to get into relationship discussions, kind of like speaking to that young couple, that is married with children and the power of their influence, right? And not just young couples, but hey, you know what? My daughter's married with children. I'm a grandfather, so that's one audience, and then there's others that are married with children that don't have children yet, and we just need to be reminded of how powerful the words we say and our actions are, right? And communication is like critical, man. And I know I made a note in this title: communicate with intent, and have some passion and I don't know if I mentioned vulnerability, but I should have. But right, I mean, I give a real life example. My wife and I, we are focused on pouring into our marriage, pouring into our life and our family, and communication is a big thing. And I don't know about you fellas, but sometimes it's hard. When you do something, even when you do something wrong, it's still hard to say, okay, I made a mistake. You're right. Yeah, you reacted in a way that I may have stung a little bit, hurt my feelings, brought forced me into that space. Fellas, that space we go to where we kind of hide out behind. Well, I'm just not going to talk to her. I'm going to try and ignore her, whatever those childish behaviors are. And I say childish, what behaviors we learned. I learned, okay, growing up, because men don't cry, boys don't get hurt. Be a man, stand up. Don't show your emotion. All that craziness that still continues today. We still perpetuate some things that our parents did around us and for us, or relatives did around us and for us, that really weren't the right things to do. Right? It's not okay not to pause for a moment, and if you're wrong, admit you're wrong. And then, if she responds in a way that you don't like, hey, you got to look at your part in it. What did I do to cause that? Right. And just a quick incident, my wife and I were hanging out this Sunday, chilling out Sunday morning, looking at some stuff, on the thing, breakfast in bed, just easy Sunday morning, easing into the day, and everything was cool and groovy. Had some coffee, eating a little watermelon, some fruit, and all this stuff. So I'll go make some sausage, bring that back with a little dip, and we're back and forth, right? And then obviously I knew to kind of make sure if I dip it in to bring it to my mouth without spilling it. And I did that 99% of the time. The 1% time that I didn't cover between the bowl and my mouth, a little drop of sauce hit on the bedspread, right? And hey, look, that's why I covered it up, because it's a nice bedspread. But I chose not to do it that time. So I was wrong, man, right? And my wife was cool. She didn't go off. She went and got to clean it and all that. And then she was kind of thinking about how she wanted to respond, right? Because we're both growing in this space. Sometimes it's these little instances like this that make all the difference, right? Because I'll tell you, she didn't go off on me and I didn't go off on her. It kind of changed the rest of the day for a little while, for about half an hour, right? Because we were going to just chill, and she moved on to something else. And I said, well, okay, this is not going to, so it shifted. Anyhow, she came back to me. She said, how would you have liked me to respond to that incident? And she said, would you like for me to have gone off on you like you deserve? Or, hey, let me go walk it off and think about it. So it's not about the incident so much as it's about the behaviors in this message. So if you're thinking, oh, it's just a little barbecue sauce on the spread. No, it's not. It's not just barbecue sauce on the spread. It's a dumbass decision I made not to cover it and cause some problems, right? Anyhow, so own your part. Be responsible for your part, right? So anyhow, she said that. Because, here's my behavior. I knew she was mad. I wasn't sure what. I screwed up. But even though I screwed up, I wanted to kind of be kind of prepared to defend myself. Own your mistakes. Stay tuned to what you do wrong. Own that. That's the other nut, right? Accept the responsibilities, own it, and man up. So she said, so you're going to punish me the rest of the day, because then I knew she was mad, but then she shifted some things and didn't say something to me. So now I'm like, okay, then we're playing that little silly game, and she said, you're going to punish me either way. And I was like, wow, man, that hurt my heart, because, hey, baby, I didn't like the space I was in. I had fallen into that space, and I didn't want to stay in there all day. And she came up with that message. And the long end of the story is that, we were able to build on our efforts in communication, because we want to grow and get better at it. And, we ended up talking about, hey, you know what, this could have went this way and that way, and maybe another situation similar how we respond. So we really got some tools that we can use for stuff that comes up in the future, right? And it was early in the day, so we came back together, man, had a great rest of the day. But because I didn't really want to stay in that stupid space I was in, that funk I chose to be in, rather than man the F up and do what I'm supposed to do. Hey, I'm sorry, that was really careless, and you got the right to put your foot up my whatever, but I didn't. So man up or lady up and go either way. And remember, the action, don't react, learn to respond. And back to the whole beginning of the story about kids and parents, I'm gonna have to catch you on another session. Man, you only have one shot at raising your children, and you're not going to be perfect. But I can tell you, give them your best. If you can't give them your best, then say, hey, I need a couple of minutes. Get yourself reset so you can give them your best. Because all they want to do is be loved and be recognized and be seen as important in your life. And every time we challenge them in a way that's directly related to poor communication on our part, if we're not encouraging, and disciplining, yes, but encouraging, inspiring, and giving them transformational perspectives about who they are, then who are they going to get it from? All right, we have one shot at that. One shot. The words we say and the behavior we have. And I don't care whatever it is that you think about, well, they need to understand. No, you need to understand, parent, that young parent or old parent, that they have access to so much information. They can get lost in that information, disconnect from you because of that information is satisfying that need to be loved and that need to fit in, and you missed your chance. Okay. It's bigger than just you, whatever it is, repeating ignorant stuff that you may have learned along the way. Boys are no different than girls in terms of their need to be loved and hugged and nurtured and kissed on. And it's an old study out there where at certain ages, the boys get less and less physical contact. And by that, at a certain age, which is still a young age, 5 or 6, they get little to no hugs, little kisses, nothing. They're still a child needing intimacy, needing hug, needing to feel love, touching, all that stuff. So anyway, man, I went a little longer than I wanted to. I hope this message is, when you hear this, give me a like, follow it. And check us out, during the month. We do a couple different things from a business perspective. I just come in here to chat about the things that are on my mind. So, hey, let's sit in, have conversation with you, share it with your friends, and let's grow together. Appreciate y'all. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.